So, yeah, so they will be producing this, okay? So without trade, they can produce 10 tons of cocoa and 5 tons of rice. So 10 times 10 plus 5 times 20. So that's 200 units. Same as South Korea, 10 tons of rice, 10 times 10 plus 2.5 times, what is it? 20, right? Or 40, 40 times 40. Yeah, so it equals 200 units of resources. So if they can focus on what they are good at, okay, Ghana can produce 20% of cocoa, South Korea 20 tons of rice, and they can trade 6 tons of cocoa with 6 tons of rice, okay, and then they'll have surplus. Okay, so they'll have surplus. So that's why Adam Smith thinks that we should trade because it's more efficient if we can trade. Okay, so this is the table from the example we just went through. So if you see here, so Ghana and South Korea, this is the unit they need to produce, and then this would be the example without trade. So without trade, totally between these two countries, we have 12.5 tons of cocoa, 15 tons of rice. But if we focus on what we are good at, we have the absolute advantage. We have 20 and 20. And then we can trade, so we'll have surplus, So in this case, we'll have surplus of or more compared to this, without trade. So that's why from Adam Smith theory, absolute advantage, we think that, we should trade. We should have international trade, okay? But later on, people realize, well, like I mentioned, there are a lot of assumptions, right? So one assumption is the countries would find their absolute advantages. But what if some countries, they just don't have that? Okay, so maybe one country is so strong, they are good at producing a lot of stuff. So if that's the case, what should we do? So maybe, one country, they don't have absolute advantage, but instead of focusing on absolute advantage, we say, well, we can also have the comparative advantage. So that means you don't compare, you don't have to be the best compared to other countries, as long as in your country, you are relatively good at producing something, okay? So comparative advantage, that's what it means. So as long as you are efficient, a little bit better producing certain product, you should focus on that, and then trade, then you can still be better off. So the previous example, so now we changed it a little bit. So Ghana takes 10 resources to produce 1 ton of cocoa, 13.5 to produce 1 ton of rice. But and then they can produce 20 tons of cocoa, no rice, or 15 tons of rice, no cocoa. But Korea, now we add Korea become a little bit less efficient. So it takes them 40 resources to produce 1 ton of cocoa, and then 20 to produce 1 ton of rice. So you see, they are a little bit worse than Ghana in both categories, right? So Ghana takes 13.5, and then 10, and then South Korea is 40 and 20. So now, what should they do? So they will do the rice because it only costs them 20 sources of resources to produce the rice, but 40 to produce cocoa. So they focus on what they are better at in their country. They don't have to compare with other countries, okay? So they could, so this is their option. So now, with trade, they could export 4 tons of cocoa to South Korea and exchange 4 tons of rice. And then they'll have, this. So I'll show you, where's the chart? So here. So this is the new dynamic, okay? You see South Korea is like less efficient in both product, okay, in both, product. And, so without trade, they can only produce 12.5 tons of cocoa and 12.5 tons of rice, both combined. But if they specialize in what they are good at, Ghana is good at so many things, so we say, okay, we can do 50 tons of cocoa. Got you. And then 3.75 tons of rice, and then South Korea focus on the rice. So actually, they will have 15 tons of cocoa total, and then 13.75 tons of rice. So it's still better than without trade, okay? And with trade, they will have some extra here. Yeah, so that's what, simple examples to show you trade is actually better off. So it's sort of like, when you work in a team project, teamwork, right? Some person might be better at editing videos, and some team, like one teammate might be good at coming out with ideas, writing a script, what they are going to do. And then one teammate will be good at, talking, like, what is the word?
Narrating.
Narrating? Yes, narrating. Thank you. Yeah, so it's better to find someone that's good at certain thing to do that part of job than you try, like, I don't know how to edit the video, okay? It would take me like forever, and maybe I'll accidentally delete some of the stuff, right? I actually did. And my daughter is like, how can you be so stupid? And then she just did it like in few seconds and then done. And I would be like, oh my God, what should I do? Yeah, so that's the difference. And this is same thing, some countries good at making certain stuff, they should keep doing it and, have a trade. Okay, so, but is the unrestricted free trade always beneficial? Okay, and in some ways it's yes, okay, but in the theory, we have certain assumption that we didn't take into consideration. Like there might be some resources that it's difficult to move around to exchange, and then the return might be diminishing. Like in the beginning, the return will be higher, but later on maybe the efficiency will be lower. Okay, and then sometimes the resources, maybe the product that one country is good at producing, maybe it's not that popular, the demand is not that high. So even though they are good at producing it, maybe people don't want it. Okay, so there are several ways. And in some theory, they think that the trade is actually not good for rich country because, like, what we experience, when with trade, that means a lot of products are made in other countries where the labors are cheaper, and we're losing jobs. So is it bad for the rich country like US, or is it good? Okay, so I think there are two sides of argument. Okay, so we can actually, if you want, you can ask ChatGPT. Do you think free trade is good for US, or do you think free trade is bad for US? Like they'll give you two sides of story, which is, I thought it's interesting. I like to use ChatGPT to say, do you think Taiwan should be independent, or do you think Taiwan should be part of China? So and ChatGPT become very political. They will tell you, oh, it's not an easy answer. So yeah, so you can try to use that to help you with the logic, or to see whether or not you agree with some of the argument or you don't agree. Yeah. So we have this HO theory, the texture only theory. They think that the comparative advantage comes from some national factor endowment, which means that some country they are good with they have more resources in different stuff. Like some countries have big land, okay, have good labors and then cheap labors, and then some countries have like a lot of capital, money, right? So the more abundant the country is with certain resources, the lower it will cost. Okay, so it just depends on the situation. So speaking of that, so in the winter I went to South Korea, and then we went to a hotel. I booked a hotel. I think what is it called? It's it's like the Holiday Inn label, but it's a Marriott. Oh, I forgot. So I went to the hotel. We booked the hotel because it was cheaper. It was cheap, but it's nice. It looked nice, from the lobby and everything. But the room is so small. Like they have two twin size bed, and then almost like this much space in between two bed, like we almost couldn't walk. And then a closet where I have to like tilt my luggage like this way. I cannot open it 100%, and there's no floor where I can like lay my luggage down flat. Yeah, so that's the first hotel we stay. And then, well, but I usually like to do that, like we stay in a cheaper hotel, and I'll pick a really nice hotel towards the end of the trip. Yeah, so that was the one. And then this summer I'm going to China, and then my friend said, oh, she wants to visit me from Taiwan because it's very close. So I say, oh, I'm going to stay in this hotel. It's like it's the same level as the first one we went to in South Korea. She's like, that's really bad. And I said, it's actually not bad. It's just because in South Korea, the land is more expensive. It's more crowded. So it's actually smaller, but that levels of hotel in US is big. Sorry, let me look it up. I can't talk without knowing what hotel, what branch. I'm sure you guys know, and then their room here is usually big. Yeah, so it's the huh? What hotel is that? How come it didn't show here? Huh, it's weird. It didn't show me the hotel I stayed. Wow. Wow. Fairfield Inn. So Fairfield Inn is like the budget hotel. Okay, but it's kind of big here. Like usually they have they have two queen size bed, but in South Korea, in Seoul, it's not bad. It's not big. It's very small. Yeah. So in some places the land is very expensive. Like usually in the hotel in Hong Kong or in New York City also their big hotel is also very small. The room is very small, and Tokyo, but in some other places the room is huge. Like Vegas, the room in Vegas is like huge, but there's nothing in there. Just two huge bed and then a lot of space. Kids can running around. Yeah. So that's the different another theory. So that thinks that why I have this phone code. Yeah. So, does it hold? So in theory, in general, yes. So generally, when we have abundant resources, it's cheaper. But like the exception is US is abundant in capital, money, cash, okay? And US should be the exporter for the capital intensive good, okay? But because I think the US market is very stable and you won't worry that if you invest here, it will be like treat, the government will take it or whatever. So it's safer to invest in US than, some other countries. So US actually have a lot of, so US companies do invest a lot overseas, so we do export capital a lot, but we actually import more. So more investors want to come to US to invest, especially, a lot of, you can see like a lot of famous companies in other countries, like in Europe, in even China, in Japan, they will want to list their stock in US stock market because to get more capital. Okay, and then they say, what do they say? Like our top 7 equity firm, the top 7, how do they call it? The significant 7: Apple, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla, what do I miss? Facebook, Meta, and then another one. Forgot the 7. Microsoft. So these top 7, their stock equity is bigger than the whole European country, the whole Europe. Okay, so you see how much money we have here in US. Okay, so that's the only exception. Like we should export more money, like we should invest more in other countries, but actually a lot of investment come to US. So that's the one exception. So that's the Newton's paradox. And then we have the product life cycle theory, where you guys know product life cycle theory? Have you guys heard of it? So basically, it's like when we have a new product, okay, when it's very, very new, people are testing the market. So this is the time, and this is how many quantity we can sell, or the money we can sell. So in the beginning, it's like it grows very slow, okay? And then we have so it's the beginning period, the very new product, they're testing, the water, and then they will grow, okay? And then they will reach the plateau, and then some might be able to, like, if they can evolve, or they can have better generations, they will go through this again, this and then this, okay? But some might die. Okay, so let's think of, let's say, iPhone. So iPhone, they do this every generation. But now their growth is also slowing down. Like when they have different generations, the growth is slowing down. Okay. But what is it? AirPod? iPod. Did they stop making iPod? Right? Apple stopped making iPod. So iPod kind of disappeared. Okay. So it's just so it's a different product life cycle. But they have, I don't know if you guys heard from the news. I think it's like last year. They were saying that they sell the old iPod for very expensive some like online bidding or something. Have you guys heard of that? Like if you have the very old iPod, they actually, some company will buy it and then they sell it at very high price. Try to look it up. Okay, it's some, I forgot which company was doing that, yeah. So that's the product life cycle theory. And then sometimes, but now it's getting less and less. So before, we will usually test a product here in US, and when it's doing well, we will try to export it to maybe developing country. But for iPhone, this doesn't hold anymore. Okay, in the very beginning, I remember iPhone 3, iPhone 4, when they first sell, they only select certain location, certain country to sell. And then maybe they'll have different timelines for different countries. So some other country, they will start selling iPhone a little bit later. But now almost, everywhere will sell the same model, the new model at the same time. Yeah. So, but some other products still have the product life cycle, okay? So, so usually we'll have, the product, the new product that's, in a developed country, except there are some exceptions. That's what I heard. Some pharmaceutical company, when they are testing the drug, they will test it in developing country first. Okay, so I heard in 70s, the pharmaceutical company, I don't know if from Europe or from US, they sell the antibiotic. They are testing a new antibiotic in China. And it kind of messed up some Chinese people's health, just the tooth health, the antibiotic. So that I heard it from a friend from China. So he say that's why if you see a lot of Chinese like in my age, when they are growing up, they took the antibiotic and then their tooth are like, they have a lot of cavity and stuff. So become very weak. Yeah, so that's what that guy told me. And I know that there are like some new drugs they test it in the developing countries first. And then when they know, okay, this is actually very good, then they would try to sell it in the developed country. So the product life cycle theory will sometimes help, when we have some advanced country market mature, we can move to a new country and then we can get the boost, the growth area, and then gain a lot of market, gain other sales through that. So this is, what it looks like when we are going down, and we are going to sell it to some other places. Yeah. So the product life cycle theory holds when we actually try to sell it to different market in different time. But now a lot of times we sell stuff simultaneously. So the production today is more dispersed globally, and then we introduce it to different markets simultaneously. So this doesn't really hold, but to some product, yes. Like the pet insurance, okay? So that's another thing. So like pets here are treated like family. So, and we usually have insurance for the pets so that, and vet is very expensive. Yeah. So that's why we need the insurance. But like in a lot of Asian countries, you guys heard of Asian eat dogs and stuff, right? Those are real. So those did happen before, but now they are changing laws, okay? And now people treat pets more like family, like here. Before, pets is just like cheap labor, I should say. Like the dog, people raise dog to guard the family, okay? So the dog usually just eat leftovers, and then there's no, like, they don't give dog shots and stuff, and dog just running around. I remember when I was little, my dog would disappear when there's some female dog in heat. So he would disappear for a whole month. He's chasing the female dog everywhere. Like, I live in a countryside, so I'm chasing him like through the mountains everywhere, you know? And then when he come back, he's usually very skinny. Yeah, because he didn't come back to eat. Yeah, so that's how ignorant we were. And we would like, I don't remember when I was little, we ever took our dog to any vet. Actually, in our town, there's no vet, okay? So we don't have any vet when I grew up. Yeah, but now, oh, my sister is a vet. She actually, just a few years ago, she opened the very first animal clinic in my hometown. Yeah, she got married and they moved to other town, and then they started their first clinic there, and then now they have the second branch in my hometown. It's like the only one in my hometown. But people are paying a lot to get their pets treated, and yeah. So it's great. So I thought, oh, it would be nice to have pet insurance in Taiwan because there's nothing, nobody is buying pet insurance yet. And yet the expenses become so expensive, to treat your pet. But still, it's 1/3 of the cost here. Even though it's considered expensive, but still like 1/3 the price here, I think, even cheaper, yeah. So when I go back to Taiwan, I would ask my sister to give me the what is it, the flea treatment, the heartworm, the medicine, and it's like $30. It's like $30 for the like whole month. But here, I forgot how much I paid. It's much more, yeah. So, and then we have the new trade theory. The companies, they will gain the economy of scale, and then when they try to do that, they can produce a lot, and then focus on and then they can ship to different places. Okay, so that's a new trade theory, and so with trade, the market will be large enough for the companies to to boost up their capacity to reach the economies of scale. And then another thing is the first mover advantage. So in theory, if we start the market, if we are in the market first, we get to set the standard, and then we will be better known to the consumers. Okay, it holds pretty much when it goes to global business. Not necessarily in let's say in US, if we have new product, okay, not necessarily the first mover would win. But if it's already established, okay, and then we move to another country, try to develop the new market, then usually we'll have the first mover advantage. But when we are developing new product, usually first movers might be too costly because it's something new, like the 3D pencil. Have you guys 3D pen? Have you guys tried or heard of 3D pen where you can, use the pen to do a lot of stuff? Have you guys try it? So 3D pen, I think the first company to invent the 3D pen is called 3 Doodler. Okay. But their product, because they are the first one to start the product, to design the product, it's kind of expensive. One small pen is like $200, and then you have to buy the whatever, like the ink, the thing you put inside to make the stuff. So it's kind of expensive. And then usually the second mover has the advantage because a lot of times second or third mover, they copy whatever the first mover are doing, and then the market awareness is already there, that people already know, oh, there's a 3D pen, and then they can sell it cheaper. So usually for those kind of product, second or third mover might have the advantage. But yeah.
Oh, no, you can finish.
Oh.
I was just gonna say.
Oh, yeah, but for if this product is already known, it's built here, and then they move to another country, then especially US, like it's coming from US, it's a US brand. Then when we move to other country, usually it will help, and usually whatever country, whatever company in certain country first, they will get the first mover advantage.
Is that like that thick pen and it has like a colorful plastic?
Yes, yes,
I remember that being like a kid's toy at first.
yes. It's
Yeah.
sort of like kids, it's for kids to make
To like
art.
draw little cards.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember seeing it on TV.
yeah,
And then now I see it on Instagram, people like drawing like actual like 3D
yes, yes.
stuff.
Yes, so that's that, but they originally, I remember the first time I saw it was from the 3D doodler. So, and then I saw something much cheaper, I was like, oh, you know, I want to try, but then some friend of mine saying, oh, those are the copycats, and you know, you want to support the original designer, the designing brand and stuff, yeah, so. Yeah, so I remember I bought one for my daughter for her Christmas gift from Santa, okay? And then I bought her the wrong one. I bought her the one for adult. Like it's also colorful, but the head, there's no protection. So if they are not careful, it might burn. If they touch the head, it might burn their fingers. And then later on, I found out they have the kids version. Yeah, so they have kids version is much safer. And then they use the ink or cartridge, you know, safer for kids if they eat it. So I say, oh, do you want to switch to the kids version? She said, yeah. And I said, okay. I'm going to return it to Amazon. I forgot it's the gift from Santa. She said, but it's from Santa. How can you return it to Amazon? So I said, oh, Santa told me I can return it to Amazon. So it was several years ago. Yeah. Those times like, you know, you wrap the gift with the Santa special wrapper, the wrapping paper, and our gift will be wrapped from different paper. Yeah, so and then, but I still have a friend. I just know that like a few months ago. Yeah, I have a friend, she's my age. She still thinks Santa is real. No, I'm serious. And then we were like, another friend told me like, you know, she still thinks Santa is real. And she never need to prepare any gift from Santa for her son. It's always like her husband, and then after she got divorced, her boyfriend prepared, you know, the gift from Santa for her son. Even her son already knows Santa is not real. She still believes Santa is real. She said, but I still get gift from Santa. Oh, my son still get gift from Santa. Anyway, so yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah. So these are and then we have Michael Porter's diamond of competitive advantage. So he believes that yeah, certain factors we look at to see whether or not the country will be more successful. Okay. So we have the factor endowment. Let me just show you here. So we have the factor endowment where, you know, we talk about the factors are the resources like labor, capital, land, okay? So if a country has that, and then they have the structure, you know, all the companies that there, you know, they have their clear strategy, structure, rivalries, and then they have the related supporting industry also in the same country. And then they also they have, in that particular country, they have strong demand, okay? If they have all these 4 factors, then this country will be more successful with international businesses, okay? And then they'll have more businesses, you know, want to invest in that country. So this holds in big countries. Okay, so if you use this, if you think of this like China, US, even India, let's say India will be the next 20 years, India will be the past 20 years of China. So the economic growth will be, really high. So if you are interested in some stock investment, you might, want to look into that. Some, yeah. So this is the, so it works in the big countries. But there are a lot of countries, small country where they don't have demand, where they don't have the factor endowment, the land, they don't have cheap laborers, all that. They still have advantage. The country has still have advantage. So there are some exceptions, but it only works in the big country. Okay, so and then the theory holds when we see that the government policy, they will affect the demand, like the Biden, I think Biden give a lot of emphasis on the energy, the clean energy companies, okay, give a lot of subsidies. And then Trump say if he becomes the president, he will take it away. So the solar power, they won't get the subsidy, the LED lights, they won't get any subsidies. So the four attribute, all these, they kind of have a system, and it doesn't, it's not really, it only holds in a bigger, like I said, in the bigger countries, but not necessarily in the smaller countries where, those are not abundant, but still, their countries is very competitive. So what do you guys think? When we have all this trade theory, as a manager, what do you think you should do if your company is thinking of expanding globally? What's the takeaway? I do know, like the high-tech companies, they have they hire lobbyists, not just to lobby the US government, but they have lobbyists that send to different regions of the world, try to talk to the government officials, try to help to promote their product in different countries. So I have a friend, she's retired. She used to work for a nonprofit to do this, to help high tech to sell the product into. She was in charge of Asian countries because she can speak Japanese. She can even write the Japanese character. Yeah. So, and then later on she got a job with Apple, and then she retired before she was 50. So yeah. So that's that. Any questions? Oh, I forgot to talk about this. Balance of payment. What else? Okay, no, it's okay. So any questions? No questions? Let me so do you guys want to meet on Thursday to kind of discuss your Lady N project or international food project? Or since we are ahead of schedule, we will have tests on Tuesday. So Thursday, and then we're done chapter 1 to 5. So do you want to come here, discuss, or we have?
I think so. I think it's a good idea.
To discuss, and I'll bring the calendar here. I mean, did I ever bring it here? Okay, so I'll bring the calendar here. And but next Thursday I won't take, the coming Thursday I won't take attendance. But I encourage you guys to come here and you can take pictures of the calendar, and then she is going to send me more samples. So in theory, everything will get at least one bag. And then she will send in more variety of the litter, like They have new scent, yeah. And then they have this, they have like, usually the 12 liter is longer, but they are cutting it to smaller so that it will work in a certain liter robot. Okay, certain liter robot can only take the smaller pellet. So she's going to mail me, but after Chinese New Year. So probably towards the end of February or maybe in the beginning of March. But I have some extra from previous semester, so we can use them to take photos, okay? So the Thursday, I'll let you guys, take photos. You don't need me to bring my cat, right? Do you need me to bring like one cat to take pictures with the cat leader? Yeah, no? That, as long as you guys need it, I will bring it. But I don't want to come here and then only a few people show and didn't take photos and then have to, have to watch my cat the whole day. So, do you want me to bring my cat? Just one, the crazy one. Yeah, no? Don't report me. I got an email, I remember the beginning of last semester saying no pets in the class. So I'll bring my cat, the kitten. She's like, she eats nonstop. She even eat the spicy noodle from my daughter's bowl. And whenever when I pick up my food, she doesn't eat from my bowl. When I pick up, she take it from my hand, yeah. So, but she's easy to catch. So that's why I feel more comfortable. Okay. Okay, so Thursday I will bring the cat litter and the cat. Let me put it in my note. Otherwise I will forget. Okay, thank you for coming and try to give me support tomorrow, 5:30. 5:30. Yeah, 5:30.